Hi, colleagues. My name is Dr. Linh Phung. I'm the founder of Eduling here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the USA. In this presentation, I'm going to share about mobile learning and task-based language learning. This is the title of my presentation, and here's my website. But let me start by saying that, as you know, language learning apps have become more and more popular and have attracted a large number of users, according to the business of apps here. There's great potential of mobile-assisted language learning because it can link the local and the global contexts. In addition, learners learn through short episodes throughout an extended period of time. The devices also link personal and social experiences with other people. In addition, you can see that language learning apps or mobile-assisted language learning can be flexible, customized, and self-paced. It may improve learners' engagement through gamification and other design elements. It also promotes learner autonomy and self-regulated learning strategies. Now, with the rise of AI, you can see that AI has been incorporated into a lot of language learning apps, according to my quick review here. However, the issue with mobile-assisted language learning that has been noticed in the literature is that the focus has been on teaching vocabulary in isolation. There's limited corrective feedback, and there's very limited user interaction. As the developer of the Eduling Speak app, I can share that the app is unique in that it is task-based and pedagogically driven. It has both input-based and communicative tasks. It has meaningful texts, not just short sentences. The app connects learners to talk in pairs during tasks. It allows learners to complete tasks individually also, and it also incorporates gamification elements to engage learners. Now, let me talk a little bit about task-based language teaching. I'm sure you have learned about this concept, but I want to give a quick definition here. Task-based language teaching is an approach to language teaching that aims to develop learners' communicative competence by engaging them in meaning-focused communication through the performance of tasks. So the concept of tasks here is very important. What is a task? A task is an activity in which a person engages to attain an objective, and which requires the comprehension and or production of meaningful messages. You can see that I highlight some key terms here. Usually when we communicate, we want to attain an objective. And through this interaction, we need to either comprehend ideas or we need to express our ideas. And this is the definition of a task in language teaching and learning. Examples of real-life tasks, including ordering food in a restaurant, scheduling a meeting with a colleague, or listening to the eclipse forecast, which just happened here in the US, to know where to go and see it. When I develop tasks for the classroom, I often use these 4 criteria to make sure that my activity is a task. The first criterion is that learners' primary focus is on meaning. They want to express ideas. They want to understand ideas. Learners use their own resources instead of, say, practicing a list of words that the teacher gives them. There is a communicative gap to give them a reason to communicate. Maybe this gap is an information gap. Each person in the interaction has different information to exchange, for example, and usually there's a non-linguistic outcome. They need to have something to show that they have completed the task. I want to give you this example as a one-way task. And actually, the picture here comes from my children's book that I published maybe over a year or two ago. So in this one-way task, you have the picture on the screen here that you can see, and I have a different picture, and I'm going to describe the picture, and you have to look at yours and then find the differences between my picture and yours. In this picture, I see a mommy and a daughter playing hide and seek. The mom is standing next to a big tree, and above her is a blue butterfly. So perhaps by this point, you have already noticed that the difference is the butterfly. I have a blue butterfly in my picture, and you have a pink butterfly in your picture. This task can also be a two-way task. When your students work in pairs as student A and student B, each of them has a picture and they have to describe it without showing it to their partner so that they can find the 5 differences. And you can see that this is a task because there's a gap, the information gap. The focus is on describing the picture and understanding someone else's description. So the focus is on meaning. Learners need to use whatever language that they have to achieve the task goal. And the non-linguistic outcome here is the differences that they can mark on their pictures. Okay, so I want to share with you many different types of tasks that I have in the Eduling Speak app. And as I mentioned, this is the app that I have been working on for over 2 years now, and I'm very happy to share that it has been used by students from all over the world. It has over 1,000 tasks organized into courses that learners can take in their own time. It has over 45 types of tasks to create variety and promote language learning. So one really unique feature of the app is that learners can be connected to talk in pairs and perform the tasks in pairs. To do this, they can connect with someone else randomly, or they can pin their profile in the social lounge and then make friends, or they can talk to volunteers and classmates. I want to give you some examples of some interactive tasks here. You can see the similar task of finding differences between 2 pictures. But remember, each student has access to just one picture. I also have a lot of crosswords on the app, and learners, again, have to work with each other to complete these crosswords. This is an example of a solo task. So in this task, learners just listen to a description of a picture, and then they have to move the words to the picture. This task actually focuses on the difference between the L and the R sounds in English, which are quite difficult for students from Japan, for example. And you can also see other types of tasks here that learners can complete. I have more examples here, and like I say, the strength of the app is the variety of tasks that it has. So as a language teacher, I also want to provide scaffolding to students. So with most of the tasks, students also have some pre-task vocabulary introduction. During the performance of the task, they also have hints and translation that they can use if they run into difficulty. At the end of the task, usually there's also a review activity in which they make more discovery about language, or they learn something new from the task or the text that they have encountered. This is also a really special feature. Thanks to AI, students can now receive AI feedback on their grammar, vocabulary, not pronunciation yet. I plan to add pronunciation later, but they can receive feedback on their content, organization, grammar, and vocabulary. What I also believe in is that when there is teacher mediation, then language learning in the mobile environment can be more effective So my app also has an educator dashboard. And with this dashboard, teachers can create classes, add students, assign tasks, and give more feedback to students. This feature can be easily integrated into existing courses and school curriculum. When you assign tasks to students, students have access to tasks assigned by you. They can make friends with other students to talk in pairs, and they can see feedback from you, their teacher. Now I have used this app as a teacher, and many students have used it to improve their English skills. They may just take the courses available on the app by themselves without any teacher intervention. They may also take 4-week courses scheduled by teachers or longer courses with live lessons scheduled by teachers. Or school may integrate this into their offerings so that students have more practice on their own. With the examples of tasks from the Eduling Speak app that I just shared, I'd like to summarize this presentation with some takeaways. First, as you can see, with its portability and AI capabilities, app-based learning offers convenience and easy access to self-paced learning. Students can practice and practice a lot with what they have available on their phone. Tasks can promote authentic language exposure and use, which is different from the traditional language teaching method of focusing on mechanical exercises and grammatical rules. And I'm happy to share more about how to develop tasks that I shared with you today. They can be used in the classroom or with a mobile technology like this. Finally, I recognize that the value of a technological innovation depends on how teachers and learners make use of it. We may have a great innovation, but if teachers and learners don't know how to use it or don't use it, then the value is really limited. Finally, I would like to invite teachers and students to use the premium access to the app for free with the code that I have here. And I'm happy to share the flyer with you so that you can share it with your students. And thank you again for listening to my presentation. If you have questions or comments, please feel free to email me with the email address there. And I'm also happy to share more of my experience regarding materials development, mobile assisted language learning, task-based language teaching with you. Thank you and the best wishes to you. Let's stay connected.